following the resumption of schools in Nigeria in furtherance of the 2022-2023 academic session. Parents and guardians residing in the country's capital city, Abuja, have renewed their interest in the age-long debate, which is better between public and private schools. In Africa's most populous country, it is widely believed that government-owned schools or institutions fall short in terms of delivering qualitative education, a major reason why parents prefer sending their children to privately owned schools. However, others believe many individuals send their children to such schools to flaunt their wealth. A visit to the streets of Abuja revealed that many Nigerians fancy the idea of sending their children to privately owned institutions or schools, as they believe such settings guarantee academic excellence. A cross-section of parents and guardians chose sending their children to private schools over public institutions because of poor handling of the educational system by authorities. They stressed that most private schools offer qualitative education.
If I have the opportunity now, I will not send my daughter to government school. I better send him to private school. Why? Because the system has collapsed, and most of the time now, if you look at private school are better than government school. That's why I cannot. But if I have the opportunity, I can send them to government school.
I will take my children to private schools. I went to government school. During our days, the system was far better than what we are seeing today. If you go to government school around, you see no chairs, the buildings are dilapidated, everything is, the teachers, they come when they like. But at least if you go to private school, you know you are paying your money, and at least they will give you service for the money you are paying. So for me, I prefer to take my kids to private school than government school, because government school now is nothing to write home about. If our politicians will start taking their children to public school, then we too will start taking our children to private school, because they are sending their children to school abroad and they are damaging our own school here in Nigeria. And you expect we to put our children in that same private school that they are damaging, that they have eaten all the money, taking their own children abroad? No, it's not possible now. We all are taking our children to private school. So me, I prefer to take my children to private school than public school.
If I have the money, I'll send my child to private school now, because of the nature of the public schools. They go on strikes, they do a lot of things that distract them from the direct academic exercise most of the times. You find out that somebody that goes to a university where children goes to a university that is a public university, strikes and all these things, a course that is meant for 4 years might be spent 10 years or 8 years before the person graduates. But in the private schools, they don't go on strikes often. So within the specified time, their children will graduate. Why do you now take your children to public school if you have the resources?
I actually think the public system don't do much to help educate the masses. They just do little or less. So I think I prefer to send my child to a private school.
A proprietress of a school who doubles as an academic, Eunice Ogundari, stressed that Nigeria's government needs to sit up to fix education in the country. She said leaders must lead by example by taking their children to the same schools attended by those of the masses.
If I have the opportunity, I will take my own child outside again. But if our government really want to work on our education system, they have to do it. Because there was a time that there is one of the governors, I don't want to mention him, he showed us categorically that he took his own son too to government school. How true it is. In that state, how was the education level of that school? So if our government could sit down and reason that they too, many of them did not have opportunity to go to private or to go abroad. They started in government schools in Nigeria before they got the opportunity and have scholarship. Many of them school on scholarship, many of them free education. So government have to sit back and work on it and go back to drawing book and make our education system to be okay, so that they too, they will not be taking their children abroad.
Ogundare further advised the Nigerian central government to adequately screen and scrutinize the documents of would-be ministers in such a way that square pegs are placed in square holes, not leaving out the nation's education ministry.
That there is a bill that the Senate has proposed concerning the ministerial appointment, that before the president will send a list for screening of any ministerial appointment to them, he should analyze the portfolio he wanted to give them, so that they will know what they are screening that person based on, so that anybody they are bringing to the educational system or as an educational minister, he has to be very well screened. He has to be somebody that know very well about educational system, not just a name, not just a doctorate, not just he has to be a professor in education, so that he can be able to know the area to focus.
Education in Nigeria is administered by the Federal Ministry of Education, which determines the quality, forms and types of education in the country. However, complaints arise in recent times about the shoddy handling of the sector by authorities, as Nigerians expect a monumental improvement in a sector that is chiefly responsible for shaping the future of many prosperous countries of the world. In Abuja, Nigeria's capital, Abiodun Mohammed, Top Accolade News.